how are you? Here's a quick look at the comics we'll be reviewing today. Alright, enjoy this episode. Hey, how are you? Time for another Talking Small Press Comics with Steve Keeter and myself, Larned Justin. So we're back on again. We don't have a regular schedule. Our schedule is based on when we get comics to take a look at. So we've got some tonight.
Right.
And what do you say first up we take a look at After That from Micah Liesenfeld?
I have that one. After
Okay,
that.
that's this. Now a little story about After That. The original little zine was called Copy This, and it was started by Blake Wirtz. This happens to be issue 27. So that means he did this for about 3 years, probably.
That's a wild cover. Who did that cover?
The cover is Max Quofelter.
I haven't heard of him, but
Yeah.
well, that's a wild cover. It's pretty cool.
Quofelter, if I'm saying that right.
Yeah, Max Klopfelter or Klopfelter or something like that. Okay,
Yeah.
I guess I would have to read the interview to.
Yeah, but anyway, the only reason I bring this up is to say that Blake Wirtz started this, did it for a number of years. Blake changed the title to Copy That and still kept producing it under that name. And then he decided he was tired, I guess, and he turned it over to Micah Liesenfeld, who named it After That.
That's pretty clever.
Yeah. So this particular issue is the all art issue. Normally, these would be interviews with cartoonists and interviews. But once a year, he does an all art issue. And that's what this is. And it's got just page after page of different artists that have contributed. There's some work by Tom Motley. If you know Tom Motley, I used to publish a lot of his things. I think he lives in Colorado, and he does wild things like this.
I see he's got Matt Fizel here.
Matt Fizel, but look at that. You don't usually see that from Matt Fizel.
And Matt really can draw. A lot of people, if you've only seen his stick figure comics, which of course he's famous for, he really can draw.
Yeah.
He used to do work for my zines. I had a story that he did, The Green Man, that I published in an issue of Dynamite when I took over Dynamite from Steve Shipley back in the early 80s. I think it might have been Dynamite number 9, but it's all full figure artwork. And it was great. It was great, you know.
Yeah.
This here, Matt is he's kind of sketchy.
These are sketchy. Yeah.
But don't be deceived. He really can.
I know he can. Yeah.
And even the stick figure comics he does are very, very
backgrounds
clever.
And everything. If you look at his backgrounds, you can tell.
He just prefers to emphasize the story over the art.
Right.
And show, that no matter how simplistic the art might be, the story is what carries it. And,
right.
And that's what's important. So
here's a couple of pages by, if you've ever heard of Bob X.
I think so.
Bob X does things like this.
Yeah, that's pretty wild. Monster artwork and stuff.
And I even have one in here on the back.
You do?
Yeah, right on the back, just near the back. It's probably hard to read on here, but I do have one in there.
Number 20, page 20.
Page 20, yeah.
Oh, it's a new one. COVID camping with forest animals.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they're saying they're hanging out. Oh, they're outside the tent. Somebody's inside the tent, and whoever's inside the tent is saying, well, at least we don't have to bother wearing a mask out here. And all the animals are assembled outside.
And they're mad about it. Yeah. So that's in there. And
yeah, that's funny. That's good.
so there's a bunch of great artists in here,
I don't know who did
cartoonists.
these. I don't know who
And
did these cover. Bill, who did it? Do you know who did this cover?
I think Micah did it. I think Micah did that.
It's certainly distinctive.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the back cover as well.
Yeah. The back cover, I'm not sure. It might say in here because he does list everybody that's in the book. You know, it's Adam Keeter, Charles Brubaker, Dave Robertson, Brad Foster, all kinds of people.
Okay. Hey, I got to say something, Larned. This has nothing to do with the books or anything, but a week ago, last week, I had jury duty. I had jury duty, and you know, they called me up, and it was a civil case. Somebody was suing an insurance company, and the judge had this guy, and he had a beard, a white beard, kind of, you know, and he looked a lot like you.
That was me. I forgot to tell you.
Yeah, because I remember and I was listening to his voice, and I wasn't even looking. I was listening to his voice. That sounds so familiar.
Yeah.
Who could that be? He sounded like you.
Yeah,
He
that was
looked
me.
like you.
Yeah.
You sneaked in. You were in Orlando a week ago, Monday, right?
Yeah. Well, I was
knew it.
busy. You know, I had things to do.
I can't get things. There was a 5-day trial, and I pulled out all the stops to get out of that because, you know, I don't mind doing jury duty, it's your civic duty and everything, but 5 days was a bit much.
Yeah.
And, you know, I just told them, you know, I'm tied up at the pharmacy. I need work, blah, 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 blah. If they wanted to put me on there, they would, but they only had to choose 7 jurors out of 30. And I didn't get picked.
Oh,
back to work the next day. So it's nothing to do with comics, but I just thought I'd bring it up because he looked and sounded exactly like you.
Oh, one other thing, Micah included with my copy, a little comic, I would say a smaller than a mini, yeah.
A micro comic.
Micro is about half the size of this, so this is like a mini or something.
Yeah, so it's like a mini.
But here's the interesting thing. It's 8 pages. Now, if you want to make a comic book, this is 8 pages, but it's 1 sheet of paper.
Yeah.
That's one sheet of paper, and you can make yourself a comic book and copy it on your copier and fold it up, and you've got a comic book.
He shows how to do it, but he didn't, you know, cut the pages. You know, so you have.
No, he didn't cut the pages. He didn't. You could paste the pages together too if you wanted to, but I thought that was pretty cool. About a dog.
Scruffy McScruffins sniffs about.
So if you want to get one of these or subscribe to after that, we'll put Micah's information down in the description of this video, and just write them or email them or whatever. And I think, I could be wrong, I think these are free. I think he just sends them to you, but I'm not sure. I know if you contribute something, he will send it to you.
Yeah.
But
is this backwards? Is this backwards the way my camera's doing?
You've got the comic book in front of your mouth, so I can't hear you.
I got to remember, I'm using my PC, and the microphone and the
microphone's up there.
Yeah, okay. So that's a good tip, not to do that. But are the words? Is everything? Is it backwards? Is it?
No.
Is the camera making it? It's not.
No, it's not.
Okay, because what I'm looking, it's backwards when I
look at it, but no, it's not.
Like I'm looking at it in a mirror, you know. But this is an experiment, folks, because I don't know. Zoom is unpredictable. We tried my tablet, but we couldn't get any sound. We had video but no sound. So I tried my phone, video but no sound. And when I tried the PC, well, it's not as sharp a picture, you know. It's a little fuzzy, a little blurry, but the sound works. So whatever works, that's what we're gonna stick with.
Okay, so what do you got next? What do you think?
I got Poopsheet.
Poopsheet.
Remembering not to cover my mouth.
Yeah. Poopsheet is from Rick Bradford.
Rick Bradford.
Who has been doing this ever since I've been involved with small press, he's been around.
Yeah, he's like a legend. I mean,
Oh
he used to
yeah,
do way back in the 80s and maybe the late 70s, but definitely in the 80s and on afterward, he did
he
a
has an
print
archive.
version of Poopsheet.
Yeah.
And at one point, it was abandoned for an internet version. But here
Hmm.
he's brought the print version back, and it reviews
It
uh,
reviews all
a lot
kinds
of
of
great games.
comics.
Yeah.
And I like this because it's through the mail. It's not online. You can actually hold it in your hand. You can take your time and look at it. And great reviews. He has, in fact, on the back page, Micah Liesenfeld does the reviews on this back page.
Well, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So he does those. But, and there's all kinds of comics in here.
It reviews a
It's a
few of
great
mine.
reference if you want to get some comics. I mean, this is great. And it reminds me of Tim Corrigan's Small Press Explosion, which is how I got started in small press comics. You get something like this, and it kind of encourages you to kind of do something yourself.
Yeah, and it's kind of rare these days to see a review zine like that. I mean,
Yeah,
they
yeah.
were popular back in the 80s and whatever, but
Yeah, and this kind of stuff is
that
coming
now.
back. We're seeing more and more mail things through the mail. Everything's online too, but it's just fun to get stuff in the mail, I think. I
And
used to have a post office box when I first started, and my biggest thrill was to run to the post office box and see what was in there. And there
Right.
was, it was always exciting.
Yeah.
I don't know why it was any different than going to my mailbox at the house, but it was.
I used to have a post office box too. I know what you mean. He's reviewing a couple of issues of After.
And losing your voice again. You got the thing in front of your mouth again.
I know. Is this an experiment? Okay. What I got to do is next time I got to move the light over this way, so the light will be coming this way, and I'll always be like this.
Okay. Anyway, this, we'll have Rick's information also down below, and I don't see a price on this. It might be free. Probably send them a couple bucks or something for this.
Yeah.
You can't go wrong. So, and next up, we've got Horseman. Horseman by
the great Larry Johnson.
Larry Johnson.
One of our favorite people. One of the finest artists in small press or anywhere else. I mean.
Well, this is wordless. Okay, this is completely wordless, and you can kind of follow it. It's a little difficult, but the thing about it, you're really looking at the artwork, and every page is, if I could get this right, it's just all kinds of psychedelic type drawing and things like that. It's really cool.
And Horseman drifts from one adventure to another, from one realm to the other. At one point, he's
yeah. If you notice, let me get to the right page here. I'll show you something about this. If I didn't go past it already. Let me see here. Okay, yeah. What's interesting is here, you can see the horseman walking up to a door, to a house here. And he opens the door and he goes in the house. But what he sees is what's over here. He goes into this realm. You can see him coming out the door, but he's like out in the jungle or something.
Yeah. He goes from one realm to another. At one time, he ends up in his children's nursery.
Yeah.
A little nursery with this little kid, playing with his toys. He's got a teddy bear and a hobby horse and stuff. Then he ends up underwater.
Yeah.
And there are sharks. And all kinds of sea creatures, seahorses.
Looking
But
at
then,
the page I'm on, he gets dumped into the fishbowl.
right, well, he's in
That's how he winds up.
it turns out he was in the fishbowl the whole time.
And she took him out.
The
Okay, the
little
little
girl
girl took him
out
out.
of the fishbowl.
Yeah.
And to her realm.
Yeah.
It's really brilliant stuff.
Yeah.
And Larry's art is so nice, and it's so slick and nicely produced and everything.
Standard size comic book. I don't think he tells me the number. Doesn't tell me the number of pages, but it's quite a few. I'm going to say close to 32. So what it looks like. But $6 from Larry Johnson. When we'll have his info for you. One other thing about Larry Johnson. He's going to join us on our next video. So you want to make sure you subscribe and hit the bell notification so you don't miss it. But it's supposed to be right now, next Saturday, which is the 11th, right? Next Saturday is the 11th.
Yeah.
11th of December. Larry is supposed to join us.
Saturday or Sunday. I'll get in touch with Larry. Larry, if you're watching this, let us know what's the best day for you, because
we may have
another day. We can do it in the evening.
But it's not.
One day of the
we're
week.
not broadcasting it live anyway. We'll make the video and you can catch the video. But he will be joining us next episode. So looking forward to that.
One more curious thing about Horseman, about this particular issue, is throughout the issue, there are little roaches and bugs that are flying around, landing on the pages.
Yeah, I kept trying to brush them off the page. Yeah, little bugs.
But throughout the issue, these insects pop up here.
Yeah.
It's really funny.
On the back page, there's a ladybug with the Horseman.
Yep, ladybug.
Yeah. So I'm not sure why, but they're in there. The issue is buggy.
It's a great book. It's a great book.
No.
I highly recommend this. So
very cool.
And anything else by Larry?
Yeah. And he sent us one more, which is Tales of the Broken Bee, a science fiction Western kind of thing.
Yeah, look at that beautiful cover.
Yeah, isn't that neat?
In full color, and these books are in full color. They're just He pulled out the stops to make the finest publication he possibly could. It's not glossy. It's these books have soul. I mean, they're really enjoyable.
Now look at this is the back page. You know who that is by any chance?
From here it looks like, I don't know, Tom Mix or somebody.
Tom Mix, exactly.
It is Tom.
That's who it is. Yeah, Tom Mix. Very good.
That shows how old I am, right?
Yeah.
I know who Tom Mix was.
Yeah. Silent movies.
Yeah. I used to collect silent movies. I used to collect them. I used to collect them on 8mm film way back in the 60s and 70s. When you could get 8mm film.
That's an interesting story. You don't want to say too much and give it away, but here's some of the interior artwork.
Yeah, there's this cowboy guy, and he finds a giant egg.
Yeah.
And immediately his friend, all his buddies want to cook it up and
make
an omelet out of it.
They're hungry. Yeah.
But they don't. He takes care of the egg and keeps it warm and everything. And the egg hatches. And they're all expecting this bird, and it is a bird, but it's also got a tail like a serpent.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a wild fantasy.
Yeah, all kinds of stuff happens. So you got a tornado.
There he is.
You got all kinds of things going on.
Yeah, there's a big storm, he befriends this little serpentine bird, and it becomes a friend of his, and helps to save the day kind of when the big storm is there.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's an exciting ending where we find out that the little bird is not by itself. There's a parent out there. So.
And he also has a Tales of the Broken Bee comment section. People write in quite a few, and it's interesting. what everybody thinks of the Broken Bee. So this is Tales of the Broken Bee #2. So there must be a #1.
There is a #1. I have #1. It's over there somewhere.
You got #1. Okay.
Yeah, I do have #1, but I can't find my copy of #2, folks. That's why Larned is showing off the book and I'm not right now. Yeah. It's here somewhere, but I just, you know.
And also, by the way, Larry sent me scans. So when I actually edit this video, you will see the scans of some of his artwork that he's sent. So that'll be in here too.
Larry's had an amazing history in small press and, you know, everywhere.
I can't wait to talk to him. It's going to be great. You know, I subscribed to his Tales of Fantasy, and that was quite a number of years ago.
And Tales of Fantasy's been around for like 50 years. I mean, it started in the early 70s. Yeah. Wow. I may have a copy of #1. He did another one called The Comet. And I think I definitely do have a copy of The Comet #1. That was about 1972, I think.
Wow.
I have a really good condition copy of that.
Yeah.
But we're going to get into Larry's history and stuff when we talk to him.
Yeah, we'll find out all kinds of stuff. So I'm looking forward to that.
Like some of us, he started out doing comics on notebook paper and stuff, but I'll let him talk about it.
Yeah, we'll get into all that next week, so hopefully. So and I think that is all we have for this episode, unless you know of something or have some news or anything like that.
Oh, I got a couple of Christmas cards from people.
Okay, Christmas cards. Why would you get Christmas cards at this time of year?
Well, who gets Christmas cards anymore anyway? Nobody sends out Christmas cards.
No.
Now, this one came from Kim Hammerline. Now, you probably don't know who she is, but
no.
She's a friend of Larry Blake's. Lived there in the same town, and she's inked some of his stuff, and she inked a couple of willows that appeared in Mantra recently. Anyway, she just sent me a card. I wasn't expecting it, but that's really nice.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I got another one here from Alan somebody.
Alan somebody, yeah.
Oh, what did I do with that darn envelope?
One of the better cartoonists, Alan somebody.
Well, somebody who asked me about the UFO. You know, the group that I'm the chairman of.
Yeah.
And and I sent him a copy of the UFO newsletter, Tetragrammaton Fragments, and he sent me a Christmas card. But I've just only recently met this guy, and I'm sorry, Alan, if you're watching this. I appreciate the card. I just lost the envelope in your ad. Oh, wait a minute, here it is.
Okay.
Well, let's cover up the address, okay?
Yeah. And the name
the envelope.
Alan who?
It's Alan Christopher Trimble.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think he sent me this. I think he's he's a self-publisher, and I think he's interested in joining the UFO. So I hope he does join.
Well, you better send him a Christmas card back then.
I should. Yeah. I have a box of Christmas cards. I have a box of 24. And again.
Oh. Well, you can send 24.
I'll send out all 24, but
yeah.
If anybody wants me to send them a Christmas card, just let me know and send me your address, and I'll send you a Christmas card.
Do a little drawing in there, Steve. Make it worth something.
Yeah. I'll do something.
Yeah.
Happy holidays, everybody.
Oh, I think we got a show in between before the holidays.
Yeah. I'm working on making a copy of there's a CD that Tim Corrigan and I did together. It was called In the Yard.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the cover by Tim Corrigan. And here's the back cover. And I'm trying to figure out a way. I don't know if you guys can hear me. Am I covering up the microphone again?
Yeah.
Yeah, to send this digitally to people. So it's something
I have that. I'm pretty sure I have that.
Yeah, I think we talked. I think we talked about it in a previous video.
Yeah, I have that. Yeah.
Tim's artwork was so cool in this. If I can figure out a way to send this digitally to people, it'll be free. Alrighty.
One more thing I just completed. It's not gone to the printer yet, but I just finished inking and a new comic from me called Inspector eBay of the Cairo Police in Who Knew Fu Flew.
Who knows? Who knew Fu Flew?
Fu Flew. Now, the arch criminal in here is Dr. Fu Chu is the
Fu
criminal.
Chu?
So anyway, that's
Fu.
Inspector eBay,
Okay.
and it's
That
going
looks
to
cool.
be 16 pages, and I should have it to the printer maybe this week. So I will be getting that out to people and advertising that a little bit as soon as I get it back from the printer.
Well, that's great. It's good to see you publishing again. It's really good to see you publishing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
you haven't
keep doing
published
this
anything
forced
in a
me
while.
into it. Of course, it took me a long time to draw it and ink it, but
But
I
you draw
finally
these
got it done.
epics, 16, 18 pages.
16 pages doesn't sound like a lot, but it's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. You have to commit yourself to that.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Okay, folks, I think we're going to wrap it up. So we will see you next time. And don't forget Larry Johnson next time. So we will see you then.
That's right. Big interview.
What?
Doctor Who?
Doctor